By the way, hi, welcome to the Broadcast Podcast with KiKi and Shane. This is KiKi.
Hola, this is Shane.
How we doing? All right. Things are moving, things are happening, things are jumping. The website's picking up, right? We've actually got over 1,000 views on the website. And we've got over 180 visitors, so it counts each IP address as a visitor. So yeah, so don't forget, you can go to lowdowndirtyshane.com and take a look at it. There's all kinds of stuff that's going on. So whenever you go to lowdowndirtyshane.com, give me a second, let me get out of this. It's a work in progress, folks. It's a work in progress. I don't have it up. All right. There we go. And in post, you'll never see any of that shit that I did. I'm going to hide that from you, I promise. All right. So look, we got lowdowndirtyshane.com. Whenever you go to the website, yes, you can recognize the website because this is me. I promise you, that's really me. All right. And careful, if you go take a look at the pecker, it's a mighty one. All right. He gets lonely every now and then, so I just go ahead and beat him just to make sure he's happy. He likes it. He likes it, folks. I promise he likes it. All right. So whenever you go here, you can recognize it. Welcome to the shit shows. You can find just about anything you want, but you always want to be careful what you want to look at and where you want to click on because not everything is the same. See? Who loves pussy? I love pussy. You love pussy? Pussy's nice. Everybody likes a good pussy, right? See? And I'll even show my pussy up here. You can take a look at my pussy. This is my pussy. Right? Everybody loves a good pussy.
You don't get a kick it out.
Where else can they find us, KiKi?
They can find us on Google.
Google. We're actually on fucking Google. Believe it or not, you can find us on Google. How do you find us on Google?
All you gotta do is type in Low Down Dirty Shane.
Low Down Dirty Shane?
Yep.
What about the podcast?
Broadcast. That's all you gotta say.
Broadcast.
You could even just say Low Down Dirty Shane and then a link for the broadcast.
See, I haven't found it as Low Down Dirty Shane, but I have found it as Low Down Dirty Podcast. I've Googled the Low Down Dirty Podcast and our RSS feed pops up. I haven't seen it for the Low Down Dirty Shane because it keeps asking me if I want the movie.
Shame?
Shame. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's the letter. Well, it was a good movie, though. It was one of my favorite movies. Shot me in my bunion. All right, so we got some things happening in the world today. All kinds of shit's going on, man. First thing I want to start off with is apparently Mr. Ron Desantis has made his way into the news again. Everybody likes Ron, right? He's a mover. He's a fucking shaker. He's shaking some shit up right now. He decided he wants to be a little bit like some of the other politicians and the celebrities, and he's going to hold his own little round table. He had his round table conference. Now, if you take a look, you can actually see Mr. Dr. Robert Malone there. He's the one that stirred up a whole lot of controversy with Joe Rogan with the mass formation psychosis is what he was talking about.
Okay. He looks familiar.
These are some other doctors and scientists I don't really know. I didn't do a whole lot of research into it, but I know it pissed off some people in the government. This Jim Psaki had something to do with it. Because apparently they were talking about now the Surgeon General for the state of Florida is not recommending the vaccines. He said the vaccines are more harmful than they are good. So now it's stirring up a whole bunch of controversy. So what do you think about that shit?
Ron DeSantis.
You don't like Ron?
I don't hear good things.
Really?
Never.
Yeah, see, and the thing is, a lot of the things you're probably hearing, you don't even fucking know if they're real or not. There's all kinds of shit that he's fucking doing. He's been screaming to unmask the kids and everything. He's the one that's been screaming to stop the fucking mandates and everything else. Joe Biden apparently was requesting for National Guard to come up for his State of the Union address in fear of that, right? Plus, with the D.C. convoy that's coming up, they're trying to claim an emergency over D.C. So now DeSantis is like, no, you're not getting our National Guard.
Okay.
You could have had him last time. You don't want him now. But Jen Psaki had her opinions about it. She was asked about some of this stuff. Let's hear what she had to say.
So it's deeply disturbing that there are politicians peddling conspiracy theories out there and casting doubt on vaccinations when it is our best tool against the virus and the best tool to prevent even teenagers from being hospitalized.
Did you catch all that?
The last part, yeah.
Here, let's try one more time. Let's see if we can back one.
So it's deeply disturbing that there are politicians peddling conspiracy theories out there and casting doubt on vaccinations when it is our best tool against the virus and the best tool to prevent even teenagers from being hospitalized. Go ahead.
So yeah, she's talking about the fact that the virus is the best tool to keep from hospitalizing teenagers. But how many teenagers have you heard that actually caught the virus and got hospitalized? And
not many. It's more so adults and older people. So.
And most of the adults that I've been seeing on the record books and everything else of what they've had, there's a lot of people that are against all of these mandates. They're still not even stopping on the push for the vaccine mandates. They're actually still kind of pushing on that a little bit as well, too. Have you seen what the DC convoy looks like?
No.
Check this out. See, this is just one shot right here. This is everything that was heading up there. They're actually up there now. Today is day 2. They're blocking off the DC Beltway. They're not actually trying to go into DC. They're just blocking the surroundings of DC. That shit is crazy, and it just keeps going and going and going. There's so many people, and they're coming from all over the U.S. I mean, it's nuts, man. I've never seen anything like this. I have not seen a movement like this. Even with this one might even become bigger than the Canadian one.
Wow.
So, I mean, that shit is just fucking crazy to me.
It is. That's a lot of people.
So what do you think about all of these mandates?
I think they need to figure out what they're going to tell the people because they're throwing a lot of different things out.
I mean, first it was, no, you don't have to wear a mask. And then, yes, you have to wear a mask. And then you have to wear 2 masks. And then you have to wear 3 masks. And now you have to wear 1 mask or 2 masks if you're vaxxed, or 1 mask if you're vaxxed, or 2 masks if you're not vaxxed, or whatever. And now where it was supposed to be 1 or 2 shots is now 4 and 5 and possibly more. Now it's going to be an annual thing mixed in with your fucking flu vaccine.
Like, where did all that come from?
And every time we were talking about this shit, we were crazy conspiracy theorists. We didn't know what the fuck we were talking about. We're just talking gibberish. At one point, the difference between a conspiracy theory and truth was only 6 months. Now, apparently, it's becoming a fucking week, man. It's getting crazy.
Yeah. And it's constant. Constant, like you said, wear 2 masks, wear 1 mask. Like, pick something.
I don't get it. I don't get it, folks. I don't get it.
People are upset.
Yeah. And so the people are speaking out. So Biden wants National Guard out there because of this fucking truck drivers that are coming out there. There's going to be a shortage. We're going to get more into Biden here in a little bit, folks. He's done some shit. He's talking some shit. We got Ukraine coming up later, too. So just check out. Next up, what are we talking about? We're talking about Jeff Bezos here. What's going on with Jeff Bezos?
All right. So he has this super yacht he's building in the Netherlands. And it's going to be 415 feet long, which makes it's a super yacht. I don't even know how long 415 feet is. I can't
What the fuck makes it super? Just because of the size or the money, or just for the fact that he just throws a cape on the back of it and thinks he's a big dick?
That would be funny if he did, though.
I would run around and, it's a super yacht. You have to dress like a superhero.
Maybe that's the
Aquaman's
the
allowed.
rules on board.
No Aquaman's allowed. No fish fuckers.
No fish.
Have you seen what's that fucking show? The character that John Cena played in
Peacemaker?
Thank you.
That? I have not seen it yet.
I've seen the first episode.
Okay.
He talks about Aquaman, talking about how he's fucking fish.
Okay, I gotta check it out.
Okay, sorry, I interrupted.
Slender will not be tolerated.
Bezos, back to Bezos.
Okay, so it's sitting in a shipyard in the Netherlands. It's still getting built, and once it's done, it's got to leave the shipyard. But in order for it to leave, it's got to go through this bridge, and I believe it's called the De Hef. I'm not sure if my pronunciation is on point, but it was built in 1927, and then it was decommissioned in 1994.
Okay.
And it's a national monument.
Okay.
So in order for him to pass a ship through it, they've got to tear it down.
Okay.
And the people are pissed. So I heard of that about maybe 2 months ago. They've been talking about it for a while.
I mean, so these people want to tear down statues of their fucking historians, but they don't want to tear down a bridge? I can understand that they're wanting to maintain and retain history. I get that. but it's not functioning anymore. It's no use. It's really not that pretty. I see about 3 of them in New York and 1 of them in Jersey, I think. But on the same hand, didn't the fucking company that was going to be building this shop think this out on whether they were going to be able to get it through there? Because they knew they were going to have to pass through this motherfucker.
Yeah.
They're like, no, we make it fit.
I didn't even think about that.
I mean,
really
it's
on
like
them.
it's like the fucking thing was like booked by Rent-A-Center. Oh no, that's all right. We'll make it fit, man. We're good. Yeah.
That's
Shit,
not
I've
the
done
best
like
part,
3 of these, man. Fuck.
The best part is that there's a Facebook group. And I came across it when I was trying to just look into it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually called, let me check here so I can tell you exactly what it's called. And it's called Jeff Bezos Super Yacht Egg Throwing.
Yes, I heard they're going to get together and they're going to throw a whole bunch of eggs on it when it goes through.
Yeah, so over 13,000 people are interested and 4,000 people are going so far. That's as of today. And they're going to egg this yacht.
Oh, I'm all for it. Why the fuck not? Why the fuck not? What is he going to do? He can afford to get it cleaned. Right? It's no worse than what the fucking salt water is going to do to it, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, it's alright. He's a piece of shit. He kind of fucking deserves it. I get that. And this is called the Rotterdam Bridge.
Yeah. Well, Jeff, have fun.
Yeah.
How do you like your eggs?
Yeah. Why the fuck you got a yacht? Aren't you going in space? When's he going to Mars? Isn't he going to Mars?
He's doing another one.
Is he?
I'm not sure when, but I just heard that he's rounding up people again.
Can he take Bill Gates with him this time?
Maybe.
I don't know.
You want to leave him there? Or?
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, he can just have like a Stephen Hawking moment. Just, I'm so smart, my brain broke my body.
That's what we're having.
Hawking was an interesting person, but the thing is, he was a piece of shit too. He treated his wife like fucking shit, man.
Yeah.
He was bad. He was an arrogant fuck, man.
That's what I heard too.
Well, the thing is, sometimes whenever people become so fucking smart, they become completely fucking ignorant to the world around them because now they have completely separated themselves from the reality of the rest of the world. They don't understand the comprehensions of the regular people.
It's funny how quick you can lose that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, with all of this shit going on, man, apparently there's people you gotta look at this fucking shit for yourself, man. This guy right here built a fucking life-size bulbasaur out of Legos.
So how big is a bulbasar?
Well, I checked out the website, right? And whenever we went to take a look at it, right here, you can actually kind of see a picture of him next to it. So, I mean, I'd say it's about a good 2.5, 3 feet. You know, this is coming from GameRant.com. They're talking about the life-size Bulbasaur. So that's just why. I mean, I get it, but I think you got too much fucking time on your hands. Unless this took you 6 years, you got too much fucking time on your hands, man.
How did he figure that out? Is he like a master builder, or?
Apparently he's not a masturbator because he doesn't fucking do anything. I mean, he does this. So.
I wish I had that much time.
I can't fucking do it.
And if he's taking orders, I want a Charmander.
Charmander. See, everybody likes the Charmander. Either Charmander or... See, why does everybody like the unevolved fucking Pokemon, though? Right? They want the baby Pokemon.
Because they're cute. They're the babies. Everybody always loves the babies.
I didn't like Pikachu until fucking... what's his name? Talk for him. Fucking... I had a brain fart. I can't fucking think right now. God, fucking Deadpool. Van Wilder, goddammit. You know what I'm talking about. I want to beat you.
Ryan Reynolds.
Thank you. Jesus, I told you, brain fart. It's not fucking functioning right now. Work with me, Jesus. Come on. My mind has been gone because apparently there's all kinds of shit going on, right?
Yeah.
Right.
It's crazy.
And so with that Rotterdam Bridge, you said, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be going to the Netherlands for the Rotterdam Bridge and everything. They're probably going to be getting some Airbnbs, right?
Yeah.
And so you were telling me apparently there's a couple of Canadians that booked right here close to 3,000 nights in Ukraine for Airbnbs with plans for no travel. Mm-hmm. So what the fuck is going on with this?
So Canadians and also people from the United Kingdom mostly are buying up these Airbnbs in Ukraine so that they can have refuge or even get the money from it and benefit from it. So in the past 48 hours, it was like March 3rd and 4th, they booked over $2 million in stays.
So they're going in there to stay and get refugee money?
That's what I read in one article.
Because according to this one, this is from right here. This is the Toronto Star. No, we don't keep Toronto Star, Canadian news. I don't know. Could be hardcore liberal. But according to these people, they have plans for no travel. These are the ones, there's just a couple right here that booked 3,000 nights in Ukraine Airbnb with no plans to travel. Right? It says Tracy McCullough has no plans to travel anytime soon, but within the span of 24 hours, she booked accommodations with 5 Airbnb hosts, along with walking and cycling tours of multiple cities. I don't see how that sounds like a dangerous area with walking and cycling tours, but okay. The London, Ontario hair salon owner is part of a global wave of people who have made tens of thousands of bookings using the short-term rental place to send financial support to Ukraine Airbnb hosts in the midst of the Russian invasion. So according to this, they're trying to give aid, to send aid to these people and not receive the aid themselves.
Well, no, I meant like, as in like the people can like, who are there can like find refuge inside the Airbnbs, or even the people renting them can benefit from getting it.
Okay. Because it was saying here something along the lines to where Airbnb won't even charge, but she says the Airbnb booking, she spent more than $400 so far. She'll probably have to stop at $500 and give her a chance to make her personal connections with the people in Ukraine. But there was something down here. Let's see, the Facebook, start to go places. Airbnb CEO Brian Chesky said on Twitter Friday evening that over the span of those 48 hours, people around the world booked more than 61,000 total nights in Ukraine, representing about $2.4 million in Canadian money. Airbnb is waiving booking fees for both guests and the host of this country. The company's nonprofit arm, Airbnb.org, has separately pledged to offer free housing on a short-term basis for up to 100,000 refugees from the country. So this is from the Toronto Star Canadian News, and this is an article by Christine Dobby, the business reporter.
Yeah, and without those fees, the stays are actually really cheap. And I was looking up; they're like $10 to $20 a night,
right,
for full homes. So that's what they're doing.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. And the thing is, but there's controversy going around with Ukraine and shit about what's really happening over there. Where's all the bombings coming from? There's controversy with Britney Spears too. Have you seen the new fucking Britney Spears, what she talked about on Instagram recently? Mm-hmm. Oh, it gets ugly. Check this shit out. All right. So, this was right here. This was just recently from Britney's Instagram. It says, Britney Spears, in a world where it's okay to lock your daughter up and make her work 7 days a week, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., no days off, 105 people are in and out of a small trailer home weekly, no private baths, seen naked when changing, drugged, can't even speak or talk, has to be available to the treatment people and show up every day for 10 hours a day. If not, we'll have to stay longer. Never given a date or when you can leave. 9 p.m. bedtime. When you can leave. 9 p.m. bedtime every night, like 8 gallons of blood weekly. This happened to me for 4 months after I worked for my dad and my family for 13 fucking years. I gave my all when I worked, and to be literally thrown away. I was nothing more than a puppet to my family, yet the public I just performed on stage and did what I was was told to do. But it was worse than that because it was accepted and approved by the people I love the most. Looks are deceiving. I must have it nice on vacations, laugh out loud. After 13 years, damn straight I should. I was treated less than demoralized and embarrassed. Nobody should ever be treated the way I was. The reason I bring this up, because ending the conservatorship is a huge deal, but come on. That's it? They all got away with it. If you've ever been in shock for 4 months, threatened for your life, you would have been upset too. I'm not done. I want justice, and it won't stop until something is done to those who are harmed me. And yes, I was harmed. This is a message to all who have been threatened for their life. You are not alone. She's screaming and yelling because the fact that even though all of this shit happened, and she's out of the conservative ship now because they verified all of this shit happened, so that's what helped get her out of the conservative ship. But they still fucking got away with it. Mm-hmm. There's no criminal charges. There's nothing. There's no investigations. None of that.
And they essentially, held her hostage and tortured her,
And the thing is, whenever she went nuts and she tried to go out, and she really wasn't going nuts, she was trying to get attention, to bring attention. They were just saying that she was crazy, and they just started fucking drugging her and locking her away. And there's people that think the same thing happens with Kanye right now. Now, what's funny, with this post that she put out, she also put out 3 pictures. A picture of the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel, as in the Catholic Church. Mm-hmm. A picture of the Jewish Star of David for the Jewish people. And a picture of fucking Australia. Yeah, so you have no idea what the fuck Australia has to do with all this shit either.
A lot of celebrities have been moving to Australia in recent years.
Have they? Mm-hmm. That's kind of crazy. I know Greece, the rumor was Tom Hanks moved to Greece because they classify pedophilia as a mental illness, and therefore they want to incriminate you for it.
I heard that too.
It's crazy. And people are just talking about maps, like minor attractive people. That shit just needs to burn in hell. I'm sorry. No, I don't give a fuck what fucking letter you are on that fucking alphabet soup. That fucking maps people need to burn in hell. I give 2 fucks.
Also, Amanda Bynes is applying to get out of her.
Really?
Conservatorship.
I didn't know she was in a conservatorship.
Me neither. And so I saw people noticed when she got a tattoo on her face and
that probably
doing
explains
things
a lot,
that.
Right?
And how she basically disappeared essentially for years, and that's what came.
So how do you explain Demi Lovato? She would just hit too many heads with a baseball bat. I don't know. Something's wrong with that woman. Something's seriously fucking wrong with that woman. What's crazy, though, is, okay, so we go from this conspiracy to Brittany, right? But there's a lot of shit that's going on with Ukraine. Now, everybody's been talking about Ukraine, but there's secrets that are happening in Ukraine people aren't talking about. So check this shit out. I found this guy on TikTok, right? And he sends us information. He's a military vet. Check this guy out.
So from my own personal experience in the military, watching what's going on in Ukraine, a few things are popping up in my brain as red flags. I've answered the call by wearing the uniform of a military service member of this great nation for 21 years. I'm seeing war firsthand. What really stands out in regards to the information we are receiving about Ukraine, number one, they have the power on still. They have emergency services, they have water and sewer capability, they have everything but internet. Okay. Doesn't sound like a war, because when you first invade a country, the first thing you want to do is knock out their infrastructure, knock out their power, knock out everything, knock out their communications. This way you could crush a resistance. So to me, it's really odd that people are just still driving around. You can see it on their live web cameras in these cities. People are going about their normal day, but all we see in the news media is burnt up vehicle, stories of courageous acts of war. Which brings me to my next point. Anyone that understands anything about these vehicles that you see burnt up on the side of the road, left by the Russian, strikes me as very odd, because everything that I'm seeing is like late 1970s technology. So let me get this straight. A major global force is invading a country, and they don't follow what most generals would apply in regards to warfare, which is knocking out the whole infrastructure. And then on top of that, you're going to use 1970 technology in vehicles to invade with. And then on top of that, all these people for the last 2 years have been screaming the mainstream media is nothing but a bunch of liars. Y'all are regurgitating their focal points right now. So just magically now, the news is telling the truth. Some of you need to take a step back and realize this world is a stage. This is a play we're watching. Something is not right about this whole narrative. Use your critical thinking skills, Patriots. All right. Shoot.
So there's that.
Made you think.
Right. All of this shit that's going on. I've even seen video footage. I've got video footage saved. It's going to be coming up on Scoobs this week, all right? But there's people that are there talking about the fact that it's the Ukrainian military that's shelling the Ukrainian people and saying it's the Russians. I've got video footage of Ukrainian military putting up flammable stuff like little Molotov cocktails or bombing stuff in kids' playground areas and setting it up for footage so they can snap pictures of the innocent areas. It's fucking crazy.
Ukrainian conspiracy?
But the thing is, with everything that's going on, the mainstream media is pushing for all of this, right? Putin is an evil person. Putin is a dictator. He's trying to take over the world. So much so that now even the Biden administration is willing to proceed with a ban on Russian oil imports to the U.S. without a participation of the European allies. This is reported from Reuters, and this is from Inside Paper on the Inside Paper at Twitter, right? So this right here, if Biden stops the importation of Russian oil, that's where we're getting all of our oil. The 30 million barrels that he said he was going to release ain't shit. So much so that the cost of oil went up $5 right after his fucking speech. So this is getting nuts, right? So now we're collapsing the fucking economy, apparently. And with them banning the oil, we got a fucking mass exodus going on, leaving fucking Russia, right? So now you have MasterCard says that they're leaving Russia. Yeah. Visa says that they're leaving Russia. Apple says that they're leaving Russia. Nobody's broadcasting their stuff in Russia. Netflix says they're not going to do it. Now Russia not only says that they're going to cut off on March 11th, they are cutting off all outside server connections to the global internet. They're going to use nothing but their own internal servers for their internet, and they will filter everything that is coming through. Facebook is not allowed in. I don't know about Twitter. And then CNN said they're going to stop broadcasting in Russia right after Russia said that they're going to start arresting people for broadcasting false information. Right?
There you go. Sounds like somebody.
And with MasterCard and Visa leaving, now Russian banks are switching over to the Chinese Union Pay. So now China's getting heavily involved in this shit. China's not fucking leaving them. And this right here, I mean, this is fucking crazy. So Russia's going to be switching over to the Chinese Union Pay. And then we come across, finally, this was from Black Issues Forum on a PBS, I guess, in North Carolina. This is from logicalbrad.tv. He got this originally. And this is Dr. Willem J. Leon III. He's a PhD. I have no idea who the fuck this guy is. But take a listen to what this guy says about this whole fucking Ukraine situation.
On the speeches that I've heard from Russian President Putin and the other interviews that he's done and things that he said, what he wants is very simple. He wants security. He wants the United States to live up to the agreement that the United States made back in 1991 when the Soviet Union agreed for the reunification of Germany, East and West. And the United States promised the Soviet Union, that NATO would not expand any further eastward than Germany. And now when you look at a map of Europe, Russia is surrounded by Lithuania, Estonia, Latvia, Poland, Romania, Bulgaria. These are all NATO countries with U.S. troops, NATO forces, NATO missiles, and Vladimir Putin has been saying very clearly for 12, 13 years, we're only going to let you go so far. And the United States is using Ukraine as a proxy. And he drew the line in the sand, and we are where we are.
So he's saying that the United States is using Ukraine as a proxy. Now, there's also there's supposedly leaked information, right? Leaked phone calls from the Department of Defense talking about after the previous leader of Ukraine was leaving office, who were they going to install, right? Now, that leaked information just recently came out. Now listen to what he says.
A couple of things, if I could just quickly get to. If you listen to what Putin has said, he wants to do primarily two things. He wants to denazify Ukraine, and he wants to demilitarize the Ukraine. The United States narrative keeps talking about democracy, but the one thing that never gets answered is why did the United States go into the Ukraine in 2014 and overthrow their democratically elected government and install a pro-America government when that was not the government that was elected by the Ukrainian people?
That's interesting. I never knew that.
See? And so what's funny is, first, you have the American government that was involved in the elections over in Yemen, I think. Oh, not Yemen, Myanmar. And then Myanmar had a military coup. Then you have them involved in these fucking elections over here, right? And the president of Ukraine was once an actor, comedian, who played a role as a teacher who was elected president of Ukraine. And everybody keeps screaming that this guy is a puppet. He's playing a role. He's nothing. This is a show. Everybody keeps talking about this as a show. And everybody keeps screaming, but real people are dying. How is this a show? Right? Well, if you look at it, the government elite doesn't give a fuck who you are because you're nothing but actors in their play. They're putting on a show for you, right? Watch the State of the Union address. Go back and watch that State of the Union address. Nancy Pelosi was getting excited for things that she should not have been getting excited for. Like whenever Joe Biden was talking about soldiers getting cancer and dying from being close to the burn pits in Iraq, and she was all excited and stuff like that, right? And there's also conspiracy theories going on now talking about, watch Nancy Pelosi whenever Biden starts talking about Putin, she starts doing something with her hands that's supposed to, I think someone said, it's supposed to resemble like the word bath or whatever in sign language. So the secret is, or the rumor is, or whatever, or conspiracy theory, whatever you want to fucking call it, is that she was ordering wet works on Putin, meaning an assassination. Now, after the State of the Union address comes out, now you have multiple people, including Lindsey Graham and Sean Hannity, talking about if somebody in the country of Russia would assassinate Putin, they would be doing an honor to their country. Nobody should be ever calling for the assassination of a fucking leader of a country.
Especially like out like that, like
ever. That's no, so just so you know, people, I do not condone that action ever. It's fucking stupid. So the world's going fucking hell in a handbasket, and we're just along for the fucking ride. So
buckle up.
Yeah, we're ready for it to get hot. Well, it'll get spicy for you over on Scoobs, man. I'll tell you what, man, Scoobs. If you haven't seen that Scoobs show, it's fun. Did you watch the first episode of Scoobs?
I watched a little bit of it, not gonna lie. Just like the first few minutes. But I'm going to check it out more when I get home.
Daryl's something else, man. Just wait for it. Daryl, he is something else. He talks shit on Maxine Waters, man. And I'm just curious on what the fuck is going to come out of his fucking mouth next. There's no telling.
I miss seeing your little avatar, though. Him, the voice.
The little Scoobs.
Because I did watch it on YouTube. So.
Yeah. Had to change his name up a little bit due to copyright and everything else. But yeah, Scoobs is fun. So remember, that's pretty much our show, folks. I hope you enjoyed everything that we had to offer here. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, click the notification bell or whatever the fuck you got, depending on how you're doing it. If you're watching, if you're listening, it's whatever. We do thank you for doing so.
Peace out.
Deuces. See y'all next time. This has been a Lowdown Dirty Shane's production. Just jokes, folks!